And welcome to Kamen Blackman, and welcome officially to the final week of Ryuki Month. And so, let's get started, because today we are doing a how to fix Ryuki video. If you want to know my real thoughts on the show, go check that video out for further detail. But if you've seen that review already, we're about to do a how to fix video on it. I don't think that this show is bad, or I don't know if I'd say it's bad. It's not awful, but in my opinion now, it's 7 out of 10, which is still good, but there's still some stuff that really bug me more towards later. Once again, if you want to know my further thoughts on Ryuki, go check out that review. Yeah. Anywho, so, how to fix Ryuki. 1. Zolda and Oja's deaths should have happened in the second to last episode as opposed to the last episode. Once again, in the last episode of Ryuki, they had a good tone. They had a good, desperate tone, but then they still had Oja and Zolda still alive and still having their beef with each other, and that didn't get resolved until now. A real in-show finale should have a real in-show finale should be focused on one thing. Its finale. This is it. Let's go beat the final boss. Let's go. And if there are some threads like that are actually connected to said enemy and whatnot, then that's even more fine. But Zolda and Oja's fights with each other, it's just between them. So it feels like there's no real importance. So it feels like there's no real it's like this isn't really this is the end of the show. This one thread right here isn't important enough because we have Shinji just died. What's Ren gonna do now? All of your focus should be on that. And I guess that's all I can say to explain it, really. And 2, also, this video right now might as well just be a bunch of spoilers because, yeah. Anyway, 2, Kamen Rider Knight should have beaten Odin as opposed to Shiro forfeiting. That is one thing I have about this. That is one thing about this finale that's another thing about the finale that threw me off, because Knight still a great character, but I'm not gonna lie, before I watched the show, I was a little spoiled about Ryuki, hearing how Knight is awesome and how he beats the final boss. And when I saw this, I was like, that information was wrong. He is the last remaining rider who faces off against the final boss, but really, he didn't do it. The Knight didn't do anything to kill him. Shiro finally broke and decided, I'm done. And Knight just won. And Knight won because, well, he forfeit because, and Knight won because Odin threw in the towel. That should not have happened. Either Odin, in said final battle too, Knight was just not getting anywhere with Odin, and he was really given. Knight is literally the strongest rider in Ryuki, period, and they should have took that even farther. So Shiro shouldn't have given up. So just like that, Odin should have been distracted, which could have given Knight an opening to deliver a kill there. Not just that would have seeing Knight actually beat the final boss would be much better as opposed to I give up and I'm done. Because yeah, because because of how far Ren as a character would go in terms of this battle. That in terms of how far Ren as a character would go in this battle, doing that just it's a total letdown. Because yeah, it feels like a letdown because Ren's the most dedicated writer in this entire show. And so doing that is it feels like you're cheating your character out of something. Anywho, 3, UA died too soon. Like the time limit thing was the time limit was that if no one wins on UA's birthday, no, that's the day UA was also going to die, and no one gets anything. And UA literally died before her birthday. What the actual hell? And once again, he can restore her to life if he wanted to. Why doesn't he do that? And no, I'm never letting that go. It's and in the end, literally, even in the end too, we see UA with her brother and their younger selves in this alternate dimension drawing. Why couldn't you do that before? And she just died, and once again, she just died too soon. This should have happened literally on her birthday. And if Knight did fight Odin and won, sure, Odin can be defeated and Knight can be defeated. But maybe UA could have survived to be the one to grant the wish. That would have been so much better. Literally, I'm not kidding. That would have made so much more sense if it was on her actual birthday and she was dying and desperately went to the wish first before she died. That would have been better. Knight's death wouldn't have gone in vain. Timeline change. Boom. Happy ending. Yeah, it would have cost UA of her own life, but once again, happy ending after everything everyone just fought for. Doing it like that, a victory would have been deserved. That's the point. That's really the point. A victory deserved is what the finale needed. Anyway, 4. The sci-fi. This is something that's just straight fresh hell, because the mirror world is just so. The science or whatever, anything behind the mirror world, it's weird. It's either a piece of science or magic, but either way, it's never explained. Because we first immediately assume that Shiro Kanzaki created the mirror world and all these monsters and whatnot. So we assume, but later we learned that Yui's mirror reflection saved her. And so the mirror world is a real place, and it's not a piece of science. It's more like alternate reality magic or whatnot. Why? It's so it's confusing. And then Odin could apparently, alternate reality science whatnot, create portals and whatnot to the mirror world, or at least the mirror world in general, as long as the monsters and whatnot. It's never fully explained how he did everything. Like how is he able to create life? That's a complete other science there to add on to everything else. And what this show keeps trying to push on is that this is science, but how? How is he able to do all of this? It's completely. How is he able to do all of this? I don't understand. Could you please understand? And anytime the show tries to show or give an explanation for it, they dodge it immediately. Then in that case, don't say that it's something of science. Like, you can say it's like anything else, magic, sure, whatever, but not science, because there's an explanation for science. Name me one explanation there is for magic. I'll be waiting in the comments for that explanation. It's like, I'm not saying that it should be magic. I'm saying it could be anything, just not science, because if creating the mirror world and all of the monsters is a form of science, what kind of science and how? Like, there's got to be some that's just how. All I want is an explanation for is how. And 5, this next one is about Shiro Kanzaki as a whole. He is the most confusing villain in Kamen Rider I've ever met before. He is on par confusing with the Overlord of Darkness from Agito. And it's just, yeah. And not to mention that there are so many facts about Shiro in show that don't go anywhere. Okay, here's the thing. 1, how did he create everything? 2, it said they have a death certificate that's his they have a death certificate of his in the show which states that he died. How did he die? And 3, there's just so much information about Shiro that this show just does not explain at all. And it's so, how am I supposed to? It's just that he is the one in charge of the whole Rider War and everything. Like, how could I take this guy? Like, when he's not threatening with monsters or whatnot, how am I supposed to take this guy as a threat if you don't even have a single thing on him? And it's just so confusing, because this is a man, he can literally do anything. How? I don't understand. It's just, give me, like, what information with him is important and what could they do with it. Like, they need, like, something. Like, don't tell me that he was here once, he did this once. Like, what will that play into later? Give me information like that will serve a purpose to what Shinji or Ren or what the writers could do to advance. Like, something. Facts are important. That'll serve a purpose, to which there aren't none. That's all I need. And 6, this is just one note as a whole that needed to be that just needed to be well said. Toshiki Inoue as a writer, he's basically the Frank Miller of Kamen Rider. He has records of being misogynistic and just a bad writer when he wants to do, and just a bad writer for when he wants to do things, well, basically his way and not not anyone else's way, because he worked on this show with Yatsuko Kobayashi, and it's a bit of a and it's a slap on the head with any and it's a slap on the head with any of the episodes that he wrote. Like, here's the best example that I can give. In the episode where Kamen Rider Emperor died, Oja was just conveniently there and then killed him. And I know Toshiki Inoue wrote that episode because I checked the wiki later. And yeah, it's just Toshiki Inoue as a writer, he's not the best, and he's certainly not the greatest. And he has such a track record with some shows that even shows it too. Like Agito, some episodes of Ryuki, Fies, and Kiva, and need I say, some episodes of ZO, since he did write the Kiva tribute. But oddly enough, he did a couple good episodes for Blade, honestly, which baffles me. But yeah, Toshiki Inoue as a writer, or for this show, no. Just no. I would have much preferred any other writer working with Kobayashi than Inoue. Narahisa Arakawa. I wonder who else. Just anyone. Oh, by the way, I don't know a lot of Sentai writers, so it's just a few people. But yeah, just Inoue. No. Just no. You should have learned from Agito. No. Anywho, that is my how to fix Ryuki video. And that is now officially it for Ryuki Month. Now on to other stuff. Whew. Finally. Well, with that said, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, the next show I will be doing is Legend Hero. So, thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and tell your friends about Kamen Rider Blackman. Now, see you guys in November.